Hello, travel biz owner. Welcome to my corner of the travel industry, the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur Podcast. If you're ready to have fun, be inspired, get clarity, and take action in your travel business, then you're in the right place. Let's jump in. Hello, friends. Welcome back to the podcast. First things first, we are in Hispanic Heritage Month, and that means it's time for another audio series. Not really, but that's what I did. So the Hispanics in Travel audio series is going live next Wednesday, October 4th, and you will be able to access all of the episodes that I've recorded then. And so if you didn't know, we do have a super amazing lineup of guests, all from all stretches of the travel industry. So we have Janet Baba with Windstar Cruises, Lionel Garcia with MSC Cruises, Vanessa McGovern with Gifted Travel Network, Adolfo Perez with Carnival Cruise Line, Alex Pinello with Alma Waterways, Michelle Rodriguez Suarez with Riverside Luxury Cruises, and Daniel Santiago with Regal Wings and Covelli Travel. And they are sharing a lot of their culture, what shaped them, what they kind of carry with them in their careers today. They're just truly heartwarming stories, and it really is a celebration. So if you are wanting to learn a little bit more about Hispanic culture, about how the culture that really shaped these people, the behind the scenes stories from top leaders within the travel industry, as well as some updates on what they're doing, what their product is doing, or the things that they support, you will want to make sure that you are signed up for this, because it's just been so much fun, and I have been learning a little bit more about these brands that they do represent as well. So make sure, head on over to travelbiztraining.com or the link in the show notes to register, and make sure you get your spot to listen in on this private podcast feed. Also, you will be added to the wait list if you do check on this for Prep for Wave Week. Prep for Wave Week is coming the week of October 3rd. It is my annual virtual event, and it is shaping out to be filled with another big group of powerhouses to really help you prep now for wave season in 2024. So that's the only way that you can be waitlisted for the event, is by signing up for the Hispanics in Travel audio series. Without further ado, let's get into the topic of this week's episode, which I have been wanting to record for a few weeks now, because you may be using AI in your business, and it's probably showing that you use AI unless you are super savvy at utilizing it. Now, I say this because I don't want to generalize, because some of you may be using it really well. But the inspiration of this episode came from, I was reviewing a list of call for speakers and instantly could tell the type of the speakers, if they used AI to write out their abstract and their bullet points for their speaker session. And seeing that, one was pretty annoying. I was over it after seeing a couple in the same naming conventions, utilizing the same naming conventions. I also at one point started tuning out speaker applications. I know I probably shouldn't say that out loud and all that, but thankfully, I wasn't the only one determining the speaker, so it was a group effort. But me personally, was starting to tune out the AI, because what it made me think, especially in this situation, is that if you couldn't even put an original spin on an application for speaking, how original or what kind of dynamicism, I am making up words now here, would you bring to your presentation? And so I wanted to bring this up to you because I see it a lot in social media. Like, I know that you are using AI in your social media if there's a butt ton of emojis in the caption that you are using. So I wanted to bring this up to highlight I'm not condemning using AI at all. I want you to use AI. I use AI when needed. Not all the time, but when needed. Because thankfully I've been blessed with like my writing aptitude. And I'm not even going to say that I've been blessed. I'm going to blame this on my 8th grade English teacher. And I'll even like my 7th and 8th grade English teacher, Mrs. Foster. And then my 5th and 6th English teacher, Mrs. Macri. Who were just like really phenomenal teachers, and I got a lot of my creative writing ability because of those formidable days. So thank you both, amazing ladies. But because I use AI as a foundation, and this is really where you need to be utilizing AI within your travel business. AI is not something that you copy and paste it. It is to be used for inspiration, for ideas, to get you off of a starting point so that the creativity comes into your mind. It is not, I need to find an answer for this question that I'm not really sure about, and then I'm going to copy and paste it in the form. No, no, no. And that's why I wanted to kind of break down kind of like how it made me feel, because if it makes me feel this way, you can bet that your consumers are also thinking of it that way. And, I literally just got off a call with the members of Marketing Business School. So shout out to all you amazing people who are in Marketing Business School. But we were talking about this, that the consumers are more sophisticated these days, and they have more sophistication within them. And sophistication really means like savviness. They're a little bit smarter now because of everything that happened the past couple years. Like, there was a huge technological boom that happened because everybody was working from home and having to use tech that they haven't used before. And because of this, people know how things work and process a little bit better nowadays. And that includes with AI. The more people that are using it, the more people are going to be smarter and able to identify, well, that was done with AI. And so if somebody, and this is not saying again that you shouldn't be using AI at all, this just needs to be that you need to be a little bit smarter, you need to be a little bit more clever in how you incorporate AI into your travel business. Again, not regurgitating exactly, but using it as a foundation that you can spin it. There's a lot of times like where I will ask AI for a title or to help me name something, and I will use bits and pieces of like 2 or 3 different titles that I really liked to create my own thing. And so that is really what AI is for. Like, AI is not a replacement tool. I'm sorry, like if you thought that that's what it was, it's not a replacement tool. It's really like having a virtual assistant to help you in the area of like ideating and idea creation, as well as being a better writer and getting a jumping point for whatever content it is that you have to create. It's not just, marketing. It's also things that you need to like put together for your travelers, like traveler information, or doing a little bit of research to be gathering a better trip for your travelers and all that. But you cannot simply be like, oh, I'm going to copy and paste exactly what it says here. Because you know what that says to your traveler, especially if you were charging fees, it would give me like a warning light if I could see that there was like a classic telltale AI itinerary built for me, that you did not take the time and effort, and especially when we're talking about professional fees now, that you did not give me the value that I was looking for. And the value that I was looking for was in a person to be planning something for me, not for an AI technology to plan something for me, because then I could have done it myself. So, and I know like a lot of you may not use AI for itinerary building purposes, but you do use it for marketing purposes. And if people are seeing posts, blogs, anything come out from you that has an inkling of AI, again, for me, a sophisticated consumer, that is a turn off. Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying do not use AI. You have to use AI in a way that it supports you. So, a lot of the ways that I support my marketing clients is through making content for them. I don't ask AI for, captions and all that because I have the ability to write captions. Where I get brain stumped is figuring out what I should be posting for my clients. And so I will ask AI, give me 20 topics of what I should be talking about in the month of November for somebody that specializes in winter travel. And I say 20 topics because not all of the topics that AI is going to come with are going to be like original or inspirational or great. There's going to be a lot of poo-poo topics in there. So I like to be able to whittle it down to like 12, 15 topics from the 20 that it spits out. And so when it says that in November, somebody should be promoting ski travel for the first quarter, what kind of post can I create for that client, or what kind of post can you create for your own social media that would be pertaining to that? Is that a reel? Is that some sort of carousel, like with the top 3 things that you have to make sure you pack for a ski trip? Or is this like the best ski lodges? Or it could be like a combination of it. Like whatever it's saying to do, that's where your expertise like really comes in, is because you have the intellectual know-how to be able to decipher the knowledge, the topic that AI has spit out to you, and what's going to resonate with your ideal audience, again, whether that's any sort of media. So it's going to be able to resonate with your audience, and that's something that AI, like, yes, you can input so many things into AI, but again, people are looking for personal experiences when they're hiring a professional. And if you're like, well, I can't do that because that takes too much time, and I don't have that much time, I'm not making enough money, then there's other things that have to be in play here. Like, do you need to raise what your rates are? Do you need to raise the amount of package or the pricing of packages? And by increasing it, like, do you need to, instead of marketing that you do like 3-star trips, maybe it's you're doing 4 or 5-star trips now, or maybe it's that you just do bundle. Like, there's so many different things that can be manipulated here. The overarching theme is that stop regurgitating what AI is spitting out to you. Now, something fun that came up, and I know my marketing business school students are going to be like, you talked about me again. Yes, I did talk about you again. Is creating like ideas for maybe things that you have thought about, and specifically like a code of conduct came up. Like maybe this is a topic that you've heard something about in one of the forums, and you want to look a little bit more into it. And it's pretty much like AI is doing the research for you, and you can pick out the topics that you want to be included, like in, I was going to say terms and conditions, but you should not be using your AI for terms and conditions. But maybe it is like you are planning a group trip and you're like, these are the rules that have to be followed on the group trip. If you don't think you can follow them, you should not participate or come on this group trip. Or maybe it's that you are trying to create a group booking page and you say, hey, AI, what are the things that I should include if I'm trying to attract people to buy into this trip? And AI can give you some ideas of the things that can be listed. And of course, you put your own intellectual spin on the things that are listed in that group booking page. So it is, and that's why I'm saying like it's your virtual assistant, because a virtual assistant is a real person where AI is a robot that's taken a lot of different ideas from all over the internet. You can't talk to millions and billions of people all over the internet, but AI can and spit out that information for you. So let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on AI, and if you're needing a little bit more savviness on how to use it. If you have been kind of like regurgitating, do you need to like do a one-on-one and we can figure out how to spin that? Or is this like, do we need to get an AI expert on here? Let me know. I want to support you the best way that I can. So that is it for me, giving you a little bit of pointers on where you might be going wrong and what you can do to be going right when you're utilizing AI for your travel business. As always, please go ahead. Feel free to start the conversation inside of the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur Group. I will also say with that, something happened this past week. I'm not sure how many of you, if any of you, were affected by it, but Facebook decided to start cracking down on some links. And I say this because, yes, I was affected. Some of my links from my learning platform were no good. And so Facebook decided it was going to take down all of the links that were associated with this particular learning platform and this particular URL. So I bring this up to also mention, if you are ever like, I haven't heard from Rita in a while on social media, please make sure that you are, one, subscribed to this podcast, because any updates are going to be here. You know, I like to update you a lot here via the podcast. Two, make sure that you are on my email list. And if you've signed up for any of my events or anything like that, you should be on my email list. If for some reason you're like, I didn't want to be on your email list anymore and unsubscribed, I'll go ahead and I'll add a link below so that you can resubscribe, because that's also another platform that if my social media and stuff went down, I would be alerting you via email. And then last but certainly not least, you can also check out the new domain for that. So I've used steeryourmarketing.com, but specifically if you want to look into any of my programs and things, you can head on over to programs.steeryourmarketing.com. Those are going to be like the three places, because the programs.steeryourmarketing.com also has a blog, and I would do a blog post there. If you're kind of like, where did Rita's social media ever go, or things like that, these are the three areas that you can always find me on, because these are technically like things that I own. Like I pay for my podcast hosting, I pay-ish for my email marketing, and I also pay for the website domain and the things on that website too. So just a heads up on the funniness of social media as well as we wrap up this episode. So I say go to the Strategic Travel Entrepreneur Facebook group, but if for some reason that no longer exists at some point because Facebook is like, haha, I don't want it, because Facebook can do whatever it wants, those are the three other methods that you can still keep in touch with me and get really great content for your travel business. Alrighty, until next week, you have a fabulous one. Bye. Thanks for joining me on the podcast today. Remember to check out the show notes for all relevant links and resources from today's show. See you next time.